What is the fastest way to travel in Minecraft? Hey guys, on today's episode we're going to be looking at quick ways to get around your world. Now we've already done an episode about the fastest way to travel in Minecraft, but it's actually pretty outdated at this point. We've had Elytra, we have new swimming modes, and we even have packed ice that didn't exist when I made that original video. So we're taking a second look at some of the new ways to get around Minecraft, and the results are very, very interesting.
So here we are inside of Minecraft, and I have concocted the best way to test all of these various theories on what is the fastest way to move about in Minecraft. And so basically it consists of a whole bunch of different lanes, and these lanes are all, let me switch to game mode. These lanes are 500 blocks long. Technically they are 501 blocks long because I started at 0 and then went out 500. So 500 plus the 0th block, so 501 blocks long. And so we're testing out various ways to get moving in Minecraft. The first way that I tested, actually, you can't even see because I used ender pearls. Looking at the Minecraft wiki, it mentioned putting an ender pearl at around degree 40, so 40 degrees, is a good way to get a lot of distance. So I tested that out first. And I'm going to get to the results of my tests in a moment because I put them all right next to each other so that you'll be able to tell which one is the fastest. Next, I had always heard about packed ice. Packed ice is nice because you can put a boat down on it, and I can actually, that's my command, but if I spawn in a boat, it's facing exactly the correct direction, and you move very, very fast on packed ice. You can see that sometimes you lose your sprint, so just right there. So in my tests, I just held down the sprint button, so you'll see in my tests that sometimes you'll see that be gone, but all I had to do was just hold down sprint for that to happen. But now there is a new thing in the game called blue ice, and blue ice is actually a little bit faster than packed ice. So I tested that theory as well. And then I tested Elytra, so Elytra with some firework rockets, and what I did there was I left the Elytra just at 0 because with the firework rockets the angle at 0 is what I mean to say, because firework rockets kind of bring you up a bit as you use them, and I just spam them continuously. And then this one, this next travel was actually suggested by Reddit, and so I really wanted to test this out. So what this uses is water and Depth Strider 3 boots. So when you're in water and you do the sprint, you will actually be running along the bottom with your Depth Strider 3, which gives you a nice boost. Now, as you can tell, I'm not moving very fast, and that is why we have dolphins set up. These dolphins will give you Dolphin's Grace, which is pretty nice, and I have them set up with name tags here so that they won't despawn. But if we throw a dolphin over here into the water, you can see that if I try to swim, I go a lot faster now because I have Dolphin's Grace. The issue is that you swim so much faster than the dolphin that you'll actually lose a dolphin. As you can see, that dolphin specifically despawned because I move so fast. So in order to keep Dolphin's Grace for the 500 block length, I put these dolphins in these little pins every 100 blocks or so. So that will allow me to move very fast, but the dolphin will stay in the pin and then give me Dolphin's Grace. And what's nice, there's some free dolphins also, because dolphins can swim in between pools of water. They just jump from one to the other, so that's why they all have these walls right now, because the dolphins will jump from one pool to the other, and I didn't want them in the way, or I didn't want them... This guy jumped over 2 blocks? You're joking me. I thought that I had figured it all out. Oh my gosh, I might have to figure out something else. Maybe put a lid on these guys. You can't fully block them off because they do need air to breathe because they are mammals. Oh, ouch. Oh man, little guy. So anyway, so that's how I was able to get 500 blocks of swimming with Dolphin's Grace on it, and not losing Dolphin's Grace at all. And yeah, this guy escaped too. So I gotta work on my boxes to keep the dolphins all together. So let's take a look at the recordings. So first is the Dolphin's Grace, then Firework Rockets, then Blue Ice, Packed Ice, and Ender Pearl. And they all just started at the same time. They move all the way down, and the first is actually, surprisingly, Dolphin's Grace finished. Then Blue Ice, then Packed Ice and Firework Rockets with Elytra finished at the exact same time. And poor old Ender Pearl, old school Ender Pearl, just kept it going. So back in the game, what was it that we learned? We learned that the Dolphin's Grace with Depth Strider 3 was the fastest way to travel. But I want to put a big asterisk on that because of how difficult it would be to set up a lane of travel. And also, lots of people like to fast travel in the Nether because you get the 8-to-1 block ratio, 7-to-1 block ratio in the Nether. I forget if it's 7 or 8. And so you can move a lot more blocks in the Nether using the Nether portals. And obviously, this technique wouldn't work because you can't have water in the Nether. So that is a big downside to the Dolphin's Grace with 3 Depth Strider 3 enchantments on it. Also, you need to make sure that you're wearing Depth Strider 3 boots in order to pull it off. So while it is the fastest way to travel at the moment, it is kind of a lot to do. The cool thing about Blue Ice is that you can make it by either crafting together Packed Ice or find it in the icebergs. You can place this down in the Nether, so this is a viable Nether option. And you don't need to wear anything to use it. You can just hop into a boat and move from one side to the other. And you can have little walls set up so that you don't accidentally slide off of your Blue Ice. So while Dolphin's Grace is the fastest, I still think that Blue Ice is the most practical way to move around. And one final thing to note is that there is a much faster way to travel, and that is using Ender Pearls with TNT cannons or with the slime block, pushing the Ender Pearl around. So you can move, 10,000 blocks with a Ender Pearl using perfect conditions. But I felt like that it's a little hard to do on, say, survival multiplayer and that sort of stuff. So I left that option off of the table.
So, like I said, to be clear, probably the fastest way to travel is to use some type of TNT, Ender Pearl mechanic explosion thing. But if you want to make a solid build that is very reliable, I would say stick to Blue Ice. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You guys are a lot smarter than I am, so if you have a tip that you need to point out to the rest of the audience, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. Also, make sure you subscribe for future tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. See you next time.